I'm not interested in promoting to you nonsense or fake stories for the sake of listens. We don't need that. You're already the best audience in the business, and you trust this show because we put out facts, despite the political narrative, even if it's unpopular for us. But that audience gasped for a reason, the same reason you gasped when you heard that. The data dump all at one time with 90+% of those ballots going to Biden at the same time, that seems kind of weird. And we'd like a full documented explanation as to what happened. So, folks, they had this Pennsylvania hearing on election fraud, and one of the senators involved in it, the state senator, has now been banned by the hacks at Twitter, Senator Doug Mastriano, who I strongly encourage you to follow over at Parler, because he can post freely over there where we do this crazy thing again called free speech nuts, right? So in this Pennsylvania hearing, I'm going to play to you 3 of the lowlights. There were many of them, but the 3 I found to be the most where you're sitting there and you're watching and you're going, and I know Joe was at home going, because Paula was in the living room watching it going, So these are the 3 moments of the hearing. And I just ask you this, as you're listening to these 3 stunners from this statistician, this guy who has some expertise in looking at statistical anomalies in voting that could indicate fraud. I want you to think again, for now the 4th or 5th time, probably more, about, again, William of Ockham and Occam's razor, casually known as the axiomatic, keep it simple, stupid. When there are a variety of unnecessary complex explanations for a phenomenon, the simplest explanation is usually the best. Why does water freeze? Because aliens are doing it? Or maybe because the molecules are slowing down due to the temperature. The simplest explanation is usually the best. So I ask you, when you hear these 3 video cuts, first one here about Delaware County, Pennsylvania's chain of custody logs. You know, a chain of custody when you're handing over USB sticks with votes on them. People have to sign for stuff to make sure crazy things happen or don't happen, Joe, like handing off the USB stick to someone who could mess with it and tamper with it. You know, crazy things like a chain of custody log. Where are those chains of custody logs? I don't know. Apparently nobody else does either. If you have a William of Ockham explanation, we'd love to hear it. We'll put it out on the show. Here's clip number 1 about the Delaware County chain of custody logs. Check this out.
And they said, well, we've got all the forensic records and so forth. We just learned 2 days ago that virtually all chain of custody logs, records, yellow sheets, everything was gone. All forensic evidence, all custody sheets in Delaware County are gone. They had a signing party where they sat down and poll workers were invited back to recreate those logs. And our understanding as of today was that they were unsuccessful in getting them all. So we have a situation where we have 100,000 ballots to 120,000 ballots, both mail-in and USB, they're in question. Now, there's no cure for this. There's no remedy for this.
Where's Bill? Where's Bill? Probably thinking, who the hell's Bill? William of Ockham, where is he? Where's Bill? Where's Billy? What's the explanation? Is there an explanation? Folks, if there is an easy, explainable, simple explanation, I'm willing to hear it. Does this mean these 100,000 votes are fraudulent? It does not mean that. Does it mean that there is an unexplained non-explanation for missing custody logs about 100,000 votes? That's exactly what it means. Should we be asking questions? Hell to the, yeah, we should. Considering Pennsylvania's unexpected, air quotes, win by Biden seems to defy all statistical analyses of what happened in the actual election, including the down ballot success in Pennsylvania of Democrats? No, of Republicans. How did Republicans succeed down ballot in Pennsylvania if Trump lost? Exactly. Let's go to video clip number 2. Low light number 2. Again, there are no highlights. There's nothing to get excited about here. It's not like your kid's home run at a baseball game. Look, put it on Facebook. Look, neighbors, I got it on tape. Joey hit a home run. No, it's not any of that. This is Joey struck out 3 times, but we got to put it on because it's interesting. Maybe we can analyze his swing. Believe me, I had those days, especially when I was younger, before I found my batting tee. I tried to pitch once too. That was a disaster. Then I came back then. Oh, stop getting off on it. Here's number 2. Video number 2. So here we have these USB drives which contain votes. Apparently they contain 50,000 Biden votes. Well, we'd like to look at those, chain of custody and stuff. We'd like to check those out. Here's a problem with those USB sticks with those Biden votes on them, though. You know what the problem is? We don't know where the hell they are. Where's Bill? Where's Bill? I don't know where Bill is. Who knows? Where's Bill? You think these are questions we might want to answer? Us, not journalists. Check this out.
I was told the next day by the solicitors, well, actually not the solicitor, but the attorney that we had secured, that they said every election they leave a couple of USBs in the voting machines and they're brought back, and generally the warehouse manager comes over and puts them in. So in talking to the U.S. Attorney General McSwain and other law enforcement officers, I found out that was not the case, that generally, more than 2 is unusual. So they denied they did it, but as of today, 47 USBV cards are missing, and they're nowhere to be found. So I was told personally that these 24 to 30 cards that were uploaded weren't there. Those cards, I demanded that they didn't update the vote live time. They only updated it about once every 2 or 3 hours. I demanded they uploaded the vote so I could see what the result was, and it was 50,000 votes. And I think as a computer scientist, an American, and a patriot, it doesn't matter who those 50,000 votes were. I'll tell you they were for Vice President Biden. But what was shocking to me as an American, as someone who has gone to sea, gone to war, that that could even happen.
Where's Bill? Is there a simple explanation for that? Could be. Not being silly or coy or facetious or dopey about it. It could be. Maybe they're missing, I don't know, because the dog ate someone's homework. Who knows? Dogs do eat homework. Believe me, I have a dog. The dog ate my homework. Maybe, now I get it. Remember that's a joke? That dog ate my homework. No, my dog will eat your homework if you put it in my house. Could be, maybe the dog. If you brought the USB sticks to my house, Lucy would eat them. Lucy, and we'd find them on my front lawn. You'd have to pick them out. But you'd find them a few days later. Did that happen here? Don't know. Because nobody seems remotely interested in these USB sticks missing other than Rudy Giuliani and conservatives who are like, hey, something's going on in Pennsylvania. Maybe we should check that out. As Joey says, no, move on.org. Time to move. That's the Democrats' line about everything. Drag it out. Make everybody look like, hey, there's a conspiracy theory. And then at the end, just say, it's old news, move on. That's their tactic. No, not going to happen. No, thanks. We're not interested in that. We're just going to keep talking about it. And the more you tell us not to, I'm going to talk about it even more. How does that sound? How do you like them potatoes? Good? How do they taste? All right, let me get to my third video here because this is the coup de grace here of all the low. This is the lowest of the lowlights. This is like little Joey up at the plate and he whiffs on 3 straight pitches looking and never swings the bat one time. That's this video. You definitely don't want to post this video of little Joey to Facebook. But you may want to post this to Facebook so that everybody knows little Joey whiffed. And by little Joey, I mean the Pennsylvania Election Board, which doesn't seem even remotely interested about what's going on here. Check this video out. This is the same guy here. And I want you to listen to the reaction. It's about 1:30. This is a longer one. He talks about this mass upload of votes, all seemingly for Biden, or overwhelming numbers of them, precision matters. I want you to listen to the breakdown of how many votes got uploaded at one time for Biden in contrast to Trump. And I want you to listen to the audience response at the end of this. Don't miss any of this. Check this out.
The very beginning of the chart where there's a circle, it says on election day. What that indicates is there is a spike in loaded votes, 337,000 plus or minus of some votes that were added in there in one big batch. So that was an anomaly in the reporting. Normally you would expect to see a smooth curve going up, not any big spikes. That's kind of what Greg was talking about, the anomalies of loading and uploading those votes. So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting.
And that's 604,000 votes in 90 minutes, is that right?
Correct. This is 337 votes, 337,000 votes in that
In that period of time.
Yes.
And when you look at this entire curve with all these spikes, can you calculate how much of a vote that accounted for Biden and how much for Trump?
Close to 600,000. I think our figures were about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden.
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
Wow. Sounds like a big disparity. Trump really got smoked. Does that sound legitimate to you? Could be. We do facts here. I'm going to reach out to my friend Stephen McIntyre today, who really does great data analysis, to see if there is a plausible explanation. This could have been a mistake, maybe. But it's worth looking into, isn't it? How an upload of roughly 300,000 votes and only a couple thousand basically for Trump at the same time, was it a mistake? I don't know. Again, where's Bill on that one? Bill could be around. I'm not interested in promoting to you nonsense or fake stories for the sake of listens. We don't need that. You're already the best audience in the business, and you trust this show because we put out facts, despite the political narrative, even if it's unpopular for us. But that audience gasped for a reason, the same reason you gasped when you heard that. The data dump all at one time with 90+% of those ballots going to Biden at the same time. That seems kind of weird. And we'd like a full documented explanation as to what happened.
You just heard Dan Bongino.